All right, Darius, week three, milestone three, your antiques dealer. So yeah, you're right. You absolutely do not need a model to be very successful in this assignment. So because the John, the main subject, is an antique dealer. So when you go into an antique store, there's all kinds of really interesting furniture, objects, knickknacks, things like that. So yeah, absolutely. I associate antique dealers not with people, but with things that people have used. So let's take a look at your images here. So we're going through, and the first thing I kind of notice is so the objects seem to be kind of right in the very center of the frame. Just work a little bit with your rule of thirds and getting that out of the very center. Get it kind of like on one of the 1/3 lines, kind of like right up in here or maybe around here. And the other thing, well, two other things. So be a little bit careful with your exposures. Looks like we're kind of got some underexposures going on over here. Looks like some overexposures going on here. So just be a little bit careful with that. The other thing is keep in mind that the the setting, where you actually set the object up, can play a huge role in communicating a feeling, setting a mood, and you even touch on it in your statement here. I figured that a lamp would be best represented a sadness setting in general. It makes me think sitting in a chair by a lamp just thinking is a sad moment. Exactly. So instead of bringing the lamp out into the yard, set up inside and use some natural window light and incorporate that chair, that window, maybe the drapes, something that just makes you feel like there should be somebody there or there is somebody there. And also keep in mind you can always use yourself. Set your camera up on your tripod and use your self timer so it gives you 10 or 15 seconds to run around and get yourself positioned just right, and then boom, instant model. So I like the idea of using the symbolism of the lamp. I think that works out nicely. Um, so taking a look down here at your images, I'm going to zoom back out so we can get it all in one. So yeah, we got some of the lines going on, but getting this off of the very center and offsetting it, like maybe here, so that we have the 1/3 here and 2/3 over here. I think that would really help. But I love the lighting. It's very filtered. It's obviously passing through something, and it looks like maybe there's another fence back over uh, this area. But the way the actual lamp itself kind of glows with the highlight side, I think it works nicely. And yeah, I could absolutely see where you're talking about that sitting there uh, can be lonely at times, and you get lost in your thought. Next one, the water jug. A little bit on the overexposed part here. It's kind of washed out in the background. I think we dial down the exposure, then the water jug and the actual inside of it and how it bends lines and everything is going to be a little bit more interesting to look at. And again, we could work with getting this out of the dead center and working on the 1/3 rule of thirds. So something like, I'm going to do this really quickly, but if we were to do it something like so. Now it's on the 1/3 line, and you got 2/3 over here. It helps the eye move throughout the image just a lot better, as opposed to, whereas with this one, you just kind of boom, and your eye doesn't go anywhere at all. So I think tweaking the exposure a little bit and working with the rule of thirds would really help improve a lot of these images. But yeah, like I said, just keep in mind that the setting, where you're setting up, and what the background is, can really help to communicate a feeling of, in this case, loneliness or maybe sadness or pretty much anything else you want to try and communicate, as opposed to just kind of putting it right down on the street or on the lawn. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate shooting me an email.